everywhere around the world from all of us at Real Madrid TV when we're live here from Valdebebas, Los Blancos. 9-game unbeaten streak, and they can get it into double digits against Celta Vigo, a side who have won just 2 of the last 12 games. Of course, today we learned also about Real Madrid's opponents in the quarter-finals of the Champions League, who will be English champions, Liverpool. Rematch of the 2018 Champions League final, of course, when Real Madrid won 3-1 for that historic night in Kiev. We're looking at live pictures from Real Madrid City on what is pretty chilly and windy Friday afternoon, the Spanish capital. And we see Luka Modric, who was awarded the Player of the Week in the Champions League, playing with his manager Zinedine Zidane, who we saw in the press conference earlier. Zidane speaking about a lot of things. We'll get to that in a little bit. We look at Luka Modric, who put in yet another fantastic performance on Tuesday night against Atalanta. 3-1 against the Stefano. Modric, of course, assisted the first goal on the evening when he intervened the Marcos Portiello kick out, squared it to Benzema, and the Frenchman could tap it into basically an open net for his 5th Champions League goal of the season and his 21st overall. As we see here, Zinedine Zidane in the middle of the rondo here. Him and Rodrigo both. Zidane still loves getting amongst his players. Maybe he has lost a little bit of his step, but he still has quality. It's a technical ability that will never go away. As we see there, Karim Benzema again on target. Now 4 goals in the 3 games since coming back from his 3-game injury. The Frenchman on absolute fire. So let's talk a little bit about tomorrow's opponents, Celta Vigo. They are 10th in La Liga. Of course, managed by Eduardo Coudet, who in the reverse fixture that was played right here at Ciudad Real Madrid, just a couple of 100 yards away from here after the Stefano. The reverse fixture, the 2nd of January, was 2-0 to Real Madrid. Goals from Lucas Vázquez and Marco Asensio, who both assisted each other's goals as well. So a goal and assist for both Asensio and Vázquez. It's a great performance, and at the time, it's easy to forget now, but at the time, Celta Vigo were in an unbelievable patch of form. Coudet had taken over, and he had won 6 of his first 7 games in charge of Celta Vigo. Then, of course, they lost against Real Madrid, and that sent them on a little bit of a slide. After that Real Madrid lost, they didn't win for 6 more. But all in all, the side did still do a tremendous job under the Argentinian manager. It was a little bit of a wild card signing, I think any Celta fan would tell you. But he's done reasonably well so far. Of course, took 2 points off Atletico Madrid in a 2-2 draw. Probably one of the biggest results he has achieved. But Real Madrid, historically at Balaidos, Celta Vigo's home ground, unbeaten in their last 7, have won 5 of their last 6 there. Of course, if we remember, last season was the opening game of the season. Away in Balaidos, it was a 3-1 victory to Real Madrid. Toni Kroos scoring an absolute screamer at the time, if you remember. As we see there, Sergio Ramos, who was captain his side again the last 2 games. Back from his injury, missed 10 games. The 34-year-old, when he was back leading the line. And of course, he scored as well on Tuesday, converting a penalty. That was well won by Vinicius Jr. Sergio Ramos scored the 30th penalty of his career and the 101st goal for Real Madrid. Not too bad for a centre-back, is it? Scoring over 100 goals for a club. A little more about Celta Vigo. When you think Celta Vigo, of course, you think Iago Aspas, former Liverpool ace, has 9 goals and 8 assists on the season, which if you do a bit of quick maths, is contributing directly to 17 goals, and Celta have only scored 34, so it's been directly involved in 17 of Celta's 34 goals, 50%, which is a higher team goal contribution than any other player in La Liga. But actually, from a Real Madrid point of view, Karim Benzema is 4th on that list, just behind Leo Messi and Gerard Moreno. Benzema contributing to 20 goals of Real Madrid's almost 50 goals. He is over 43. He is over 43%. Of course, Casemiro, who missed Tuesday night's game as well, he'll be back amongst the lines. Real Madrid's second top scorer, actually. It's might be a little bit odd if you think about it. Casemiro really has popped up with quite a lot of goals this season. He has 6 already. More than any other player in this side except for Karim Benzema. If you're just joining us, these are live images from Ciudad Real Madrid. It's a live training session, of course, before Real Madrid travel tomorrow to face Celta Vigo away in Galicia, away at Balaidos, a stadium where Real Madrid historically have pretty much dominated. So you see there Casemiro talking to his manager. It's all smiles here at Real Madrid, of course, the side unbeaten for 9 games now, looking to make it 10. Very good patch of form, winning 7 of those 9 games as well. And of course, into the quarter-finals now of the Champions League. The only Spanish team still in the competition. Of course, Villarreal and Granada still in the Europa League. That's a different kettle of fish entirely. A little bit about Liverpool. They have not had a great title defense so far in the Premier League. I think it's pretty safe to say they won't be repeating as champions, but in the Champions League, Liverpool have done really well. Only conceded 3 goals in games at Liverpool. The 3 forwards, Diogo Jota, Sadio Mane, and Mo Salah, scored 12 and 14 goals. So definitely a force to be reckoned with for Zinedine Zidane and Real Madrid, but the last 3 times these two sides played, of course, most recently, that's 2018 Champions League final that Real Madrid won 3-1, but before that, they faced each other in the group stages of the 2014-15 season, and Real Madrid won both games. Of course, that 3-0 thumping at Anfield, one of them, a 1-0 victory at Santiago Bernabeu. This Liverpool side, as Zinedine Zidane will know, as he said in his press conference as well, extremely talented team. Video Butragueño saying the same thing, reacting to the draw earlier today. This Liverpool team are very well coached, a lot of star players in this side. Even if they might not be doing as well as they would like in the Premier League, that doesn't mean that you can let the foot off the gas a little bit. The last couple of seasons, this side has shown what they can do. Of course, they won the Champions League the year after Real Madrid did in 2019, beating Spurs 2-0 in the final. Liverpool now on the hunt for their 7th Champions League. Real Madrid, of course, on the hunt for their 14th. So you see there Toni Kroos, who we all know loves a goal against Celta Vigo. For some reason, in some way, Toni Kroos has 6 goals in 12 games against Celta Vigo, which is a very unusually good scoring record for the German, who really doesn't score a lot of goals. They tend to be great ones when he does score, and if you remember, last game in Balaidos, he scored an absolute thunderbolt from, 30-35 yards out, went in off the underside of the bar. The first goal of that season, where Real Madrid would eventually be crowned champions of La Liga for the 34th time. Toni Kroos having another stellar season in white. See there a couple of canteranos, you see there Real Madrid Castilla, Hugo Duro there, Miguel Gutierrez, both of Real Madrid Castilla, who are having a great season themselves. In promotion places in the Segunda B right now, looking to get promoted to the Segunda, second tier of Spanish football. A little bit about Marco Asensio as well. Of course, he scored the 3-1 against Atalanta was his first Champions League goal of the season and had been coming in the woodwork a couple of times already this season. And of course in the reverse fixture, as we mentioned earlier, Asensio was scoring and assisting. Asensio having scored 3 goals against Celta Vigo historically. These are live images from Ciudad Real Madrid, and welcome along if you've just joined us for the final training session of Real Madrid before they travel to Galicia in the northwest of Spain to face Celta Vigo. Iago Aspas and Celta Vigo. Iago Aspas, who again is having a stellar season, one of the best players in Spain, who doesn't play for any of the traditional top teams, but he's an incredibly loyal player, and he's well and truly the player that makes this Celta Vigo side tick. A little bit about the way they set up Eduardo Coudet and Celta Vigo. They play sort of a 4-1-5 with 5 attacking players. Might sound a bit strange, and it is, because they of course have a flat back 4. Then Renato Tapia sitting in defensive midfield, and then 3 attacking midfielders and 2 forwards. So you have Nolito, Denis Suarez and Brais Mendes, all attacking midfielders, and then you have Iago Aspas and Santi Mina up front, with Mina and Aspas playing off each other. And Nolito, Mendes, Aspas and Mina all have at least 5 goals on the season. Aspas, as I said, has 9, and Mina has 6. Both Mendes and Nolito have 5. Back to the Champions League, where of course Real Madrid are the only Spanish team to still be in it. Real Madrid drew Liverpool in the quarter-finals, and if they make it through, they will face either Chelsea or Porto for the other quarter-final. That much is known already. We don't know yet when those games will be played. This will be announced by UEFA at the end of this month. We don't even know if Real Madrid will play at the Di Stefano against Liverpool. Of course, in the UK, still a travel ban to a lot of Europe. Most English sides have been playing in either Romania, Hungary, because they're not allowed to travel to Spain at the moment because of the pandemic. So maybe we won't even get a game here at the Di Stefano. That's something that will be announced in the next week or so. It should be known either next week or by the end of this week. Next week at the very latest. As you see here, Real Madrid's first team playing that piggy in the middle. That's a training ground routine. It's the classic way they always tend to get their training sessions started before they get into the nitty-gritty, before they get into the tactical work. Usually these sessions ended off by a game on smaller pitches and then some crossing and finishing exercises. That's probably why Real Madrid has 13 different goal scorers in La Liga this season. A very high number that 13 different players contribute, and that's probably why behind Karim Benzema there's no standout scorers in the side, because everyone just chips in with a couple of goals. Casemiro has 6. And, of course, Ramos has 4, Hazard has 3, Vinicius has 4 now. Asensio with 3. As you see there, Nacho, who again put in another great performance against Atalanta. It was the second game in a row actually that Zinedine Zidane opted to play a 3 at the back. When he start the game with a 3 at the back. It worked wonders against Atalanta. Really did not get many opportunities during the game. Of course, they did score because of a pretty tremendous free kick strike from Luis Muriel. That goal immediately cancelled out by Marco Asensio just a minute after to kill off any hopes that Atalanta might have had the final minutes of that game. Of course, Real Madrid won 1-0 away in Bergamo in February. And then they followed it up with a 3-1 win at the Alfredo Di Stefano.